Petersfield's Alexis James and Herbert Morrison's Dandre Daley could be spoilers at this year's Champs 2023. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we can continue to go ahead and do that. Hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit the like button. And finally, leave your thoughts after this sports analysis where we take a look at and we break down the races. So, Una ready? Yep. Good to go. We continue our Champs series. Dandre Daley of Herbert Morrison may be the only person who could challenge Kingston College's Boaje Nkume in the finals of the Class 1 men's 100 meters at this year's 2023 ISA Boys and Girls Champs. Reason being, he has the second fastest time thus far for the entire season. I believe he ran 10.30 on grass at the Western Champs with a handheld stopwatch, which may not be the most reliable. However, if we look at his race recently at the Carifta Trials, in the finals of the under 20 100 meter men's, you will get an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, simply because we're trying to be expedient, we're going to talk over the video because we think you've seen this video several times. Now, it is important to note that Boaje Nkume ran and won a time of 10.18, very impressive, in a, I believe, minus, I know it was a minus win and it was legal. Now, Dandre Daley ran 10.37 to take the second spot in this final. But there's something that's kind of really important for you to know. Now, I've stated it honestly and repeatedly that I personally believe that Boaje Nkume is the clear favorite to win and will probably run a sub 10 seconds. But while I state that, I do still think that Herbert Morrison's Dandre Daley, although he was beaten by a clear meter and a half here, if not a little more than that, in the finals of this Carifta Trials 2023 in the under 20 men's, we have to remember that in the prelims, Dandre Daley actually got up last, ran from the absolute back of the pack, and was able to capture second so he could get through to the final. Now, here is that prelim heat final. Now, what had preceded this, you see that's Dandre Daley at the very back, and he's going to run through the entire field to get that second place just on the line. So he made sure that he got through to the finals. What had happened is there had been, I think, 2 or 3 false starts. So Dandre Daley was just being, this is of course in these prelim heats, there had been 2 or 3 false starts in this very same race. And what Daley was doing was just trying to be cautious. It happens sometimes. And I also think that maybe the starter had kind of rushed it. Now, Dandre Daley is the reigning Carifta champion and the Carifta Trials champion. But I think that run in the prelims, for him to run from the very back of the pack and make it through to the second position, I mean, he literally got up maybe a second after, that's a slight exaggeration, but milliseconds after everyone. And in 100 meters, that's a lot of time. So I do think that he could be a surprising factor. If he goes through the rounds at the ISA Boys and Girls Champs, he remains healthy because he's had injury issues in the past, but he seems to be fine this time. If he remains healthy and he doesn't have to go through any nightmare like he did at the Carifta Trials in those prelims where he had to run from the back of the pack to make it, he could be a factor. In other words, what I'm saying is he was clearly exhausted in that finals. He must have been to have ran that hard just to be able to get through. So I think that kind of threw him off. Could he be a spoiler? There's maybe a 10 to 15% chance that he could against someone like a Boaje Nkume. Now let's talk about the young lady from Petersfield, the remarkable Alexis James, the silver medalist from last year's World Under 20 Women's 100 meter finals. In the semi-finals, the prelims at the recent Carifta Trials, this young lady ran, meaning Alexis James of Petersfield, ran a comfortable time of 10.24, equaling that time ran by by Alana Reid of Hydel. However, I need to tell you that the win was a plus 3 point something. I think it was plus 3.1. So therefore, this time was not a legal time, and it can't be ratified. Impressive, but it wasn't really a legal time. She ran this, of course, in the prelims, looked really good doing so, looked quite comfortable. Now, the truth is, Alexis James is very, very fast. Last year's legendary 4x1 World Under 20, in the preliminary round, she ran the third leg, I believe. And she also, I believe, ran the third leg in the previous years, if my memory serves me correctly. In other words, she had been a part of the legendary Jamaican Under 20 women's 4x100 meter relay team. So she's really a very, very fast person. And of course, one of the finest hurdlers, high school hurdlers that we have, if not the finest presently. In the finals, however, she ran third in that final, meaning of the Carifta trials. As you can see here in this race, she struggled against the likes of Serena Cole and of course Alana Reid, who separated themselves here from her in the pack. So do I think she's going to be a factor? She can be a factor because, you know, anything is possible. It's track and field, and if Alana or Serena are off their mark, she could sneak in to get the silver and or the gold. The fact is, I believe she should be considered the clear favorite for the bronze medal. But in terms of this instance, I don't think we could consider her a spoiler. But you know what? She could be a spoiler for maybe, I don't know, less than 10%, 7%, 6%. It's not an impossibility. She's very fast. But also remember that she's going to be running the class 1 women's 100 meter hurdles, and after her recent defeat, I suspect she wants to prove a point against her now arch nemesis in the women's class 1 100 meter hurdles. So I think the truth is, I think Dandre Daley is far more of a legitimate possible spoiler against Aboaja Nkrumah than Alexis James is against either Alana Reid or, even more importantly, as Serena Cole. You know, but this, of course, is just my 2 cents. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe either could be a spoiler, you know, against their respective rival in the finals of the class 1 men's 100 meters and or the class 1 of the women's 100 meters at the ISA Boys and Girls Champs 2023? I mean, I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. As I said, I believe Dandre Daley could be a legitimate challenge to Aboaja Nkrumah, although Nkrumah looks remarkable at this point in time. I don't think we have seen anything close to the best of Dandre Daley. And I also think that Alexis James may not be as much of a factor in that finals against Serena Cole and Alana Reid. I think that final is really going to be down to Serena Cole and Alana Reid and who is at their best on the day. But like I said, this is my 2 cents. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Remember, your royals, kings, and queens. Keep it locked here as we will continue through giving you our updates regarding Velocity Fest that's happening right now at the National Stadium. Your kings and queens. Bless up!